Coming up, we'll show you what health inspectors missed at the Norman Chipotle where customers got sick, a safety makeover for a dangerous Norman road, and here at OU, free mammograms. OU Nightly starts now. The one-time burrito champ Chipotle is offering burritos to every teacher in America. The May 3rd promotion is an effort to lure back customers after dozens of people across the country got sick eating at Chipotle. But back at our campus corner Chipotle, it appears it's business as usual.
That's where last year 3 Oklahomans contracted E. coli a full month before county health inspectors found potential dangers in the store's operation. OU Nightly's Holden Kruzmark has our story.
This time last year, Chipotle was a national sensation, firmly perched atop the burrito food chain.
I love Chipotle.
But in late 2015, Chipotle's world turned upside down. Across the nation, Chipotle customers by the hundreds began getting sick. According to FDA records, the Centers for Disease Control has confirmed that from October through December 2015, 55 customers in 11 different states became sick after eating at Chipotle's, and 21 were hospitalized with E. coli infections. And that's not all. Beginning in late summer 2015, hundreds of customers primarily in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Massachusetts, and California suffered salmonella poisoning or contracted neurovirus. Many of the victims have sued Chipotle. Haley Hadlock is one of them. She and 2 other people late last year ate at the campus corner Chipotle and then became sick with E. coli infections. She says she sued because Chipotle did not want to take full responsibility for what happened.
And they really just wanted to cover like my medical, and I had to miss a lot of work, not to mention like the pain and suffering part of it.
Hadlock's lawsuit alleges that Chipotle manufactured, distributed, and sold food products that were contaminated with E. coli. It contends Hadlock became extremely sick and was treated at 3 Metro medical centers over 9 days.
I mean, it was traumatic. I was in a lot of pain. And I don't know, it just felt like maybe I would have been taken advantage of if I hadn't gone the attorney route.
Despite extensive nationwide media coverage of Chipotle's health and safety issues beginning as early as August 2015, OU Nightly has learned that Cleveland County health officials conducted no inspections of the campus corner Chipotle until December, 4 months after the Chipotle story began going viral, and more than a month after Hadlock ate at the restaurant and became sick. Nightly looked at county inspection records of the campus corner Chipotle that for 2 years revealed only scattered minor violations. But on this inspection, December 17, 2015, nearly a month after Hadlock got sick, county inspectors found 4 critical violations, any one of which could cause the same kinds of diseases being reported across the country. Employees failing to wash hands, failing to keep food at safe temperatures, and failing to keep food contact surfaces clean. County health officials told Nightly they conduct their inspections on a rotational schedule, not in response to what's happening in the world around them.
They're on a scheduled inspection. It doesn't require a follow-up from the health department.
We talked to Chipotle customers about the company's problems and what the inspection records revealed.
I didn't know that at all. I probably wouldn't have eaten here now if I would have known that.
But most of them either didn't know or only had casual concern.
I'm probably a little bit more hesitant to come, but I hope that they're, getting it all together and taking care of business.
We wanted to ask Chipotle representatives about the conditions at this campus corner store. However, they declined to comment. Instead, they issued this short statement. Chipotle has implemented a number of new food safety procedures and that it is safe to eat at any of our restaurants. Holden Kruzmark, OU Nightly.
Well, it still seems like everyone's still eating at Chipotle.
It seems like there's a lot of people still going, but after that, on to something a little sunnier. Okay. We have Sawyer here with the weather. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so it has been a really nice day across the area. Right now, our current temps outside, 73 in Norman. You can see down to 80 in Idabel, so a wide range of temperatures, but it's been very nice. Right now, you can see across our visible satellite, not very many clouds across the state, mainly in the northeast portion, but we do have a rainmaker coming up soon across the area. I'll talk about that in just a little bit with more severe weather, although it does look like a nice weekend, and we will finally get out of this severe weather pattern and get to a cooler portion of next week. So I'll have more on that in just a little bit. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Sawyer. The University of Oklahoma has made Healthy Sooners a priority to promote healthy lifestyles and access to healthy lifestyles for OU employees. Today, OU offered mammograms for its employees and their spouses. The Oklahoma Breast Care Center mobile mammogram unit appeared on campus for its 6th year. All 45 appointments were quickly filled, so the mobile truck will be back on Monday at the College of Continuing Education parking lot. The mobile unit is for screening only. Men who are hoping to be tested must go to the diagnostic centers. Doctors recommend mammograms for women every year after their 40th birthday.
Easy to miss small nodules on a regular breast exam, and so this should pick up any small nodules or calcifications that are changing in the woman's breast.
Those who are interested in scheduling an appointment should call 405-755-2273 extension 110.
Governor Mary Fallin signed a bill into law this week, closing an existing loophole that allowed offenders with multiple DUIs to go unnoticed. The new law requires a court of records to enter all DUIs into a statewide database, which many local municipalities are not prepared to do. This means that the municipalities will no longer be able to prosecute first offense DUIs, impacting court revenue.
When you combine, one, that we're not going to be able to prosecute DUIs, and second, the cut in funding from those cases that involve municipal police departments is being cut from 50% of the cost to 25% of the cost. And that, for us, that financial impact is going to be about $120,000 a year.
The new law takes effect November 1st. Now, Joseph Quinton joins us here in the News Center. Joseph, what can you tell us?
John Boehner had some strong words to say about presidential candidate Ted Cruz. This isn't the first time the two have clashed heads. The relationship apparently slid when Cruz attempted to defund Obamacare in 2013. More than 60 people are dead in the Syrian city of Aleppo after multiple airstrikes. The death toll expected to rise. One of the airstrikes wiped out an entire hospital that has been one of the main medical centers since the city has become divided. The city had a ceasefire, but due to the attacks, the UN says the cessation of hostilities hangs by a thread. Baltimore police officers defended themselves today after shooting and wounding a 13-year-old boy. The boy was holding what police thought to be a real gun, but in reality was just a replica Beretta BB gun. The Baltimore police chief said he could not allow anyone to walk down the street with what looks like a semi-automatic pistol. Despite being shot in the leg and shoulder, the teenager is expected to survive his wounds. And a House committee vote today could require women to register for the military draft.
Well, still ahead on OU Nightly, CAC finally swore in their new chair.
Plus, straight ahead on OU Nightly, Lindsay Street isn't the only street getting renovations.
Norman's 24th Avenue Northeast between Lindsay and Robinson is known for heavy traffic and frequent accidents, but 24th Northeast is in for a makeover. As Nightly's Anna Whitney shows us, the project will make the road safer, but at the expense of people who live there.
Virginia Buckmaster has lived here since 1966, and the expansion came as a surprise to her.
Had no idea. We were way in the country when we bought this.
When the Buckmasters bought their property over 50 years ago, they weren't anticipating having to move their mailbox back several feet. However, the bank across the street has only been there 8 years, and they were anticipating it before they were even built.
When we built our parking lots, we had planned on the expansion.
Residents along the road have not been allowed to vote on the expansion, but they will be compensated for the loss of land. Despite these frustrations, the project will make the road a safer place to travel.
But now we've witnessed, easily a dozen wrecks at this location.
This project falls in the ward of councilperson Jerry Lang, who frequently rides his bicycle down the road.
And if you've ever ridden a bicycle on that, and I have, it's not a comfortable feeling.
The expansion is slated to begin in the winter of 2018. Anna Whitney, OU Nightly.
The project will widen 2 miles of road, expand the road from 2 to 4 lanes, and add sidewalks.
It's official. Amy Schneebeck was sworn in this morning as the chair of CAC. SGA President Daniel Pay presided over the swearing-in ceremony. The Campus Activities Council election was several weeks ago, but was not official until today. Schneebeck and other candidates were cited for several election violations, but she hopes to put that behind her and now focus on CAC's future.
A lot of it gets really petty, unfortunately, with elections. It can, we're all students, though, at the end of the day, and I am proud of my campaign team and, my campaign in general, and I'm just excited to get started.
Schneebeck's campaign focused on organizational transparency, and she plans to make that her first order of business.
A Norman man is in custody after a high-speed chase through in northeast Norman. NPD began chasing a man who was a vandalism suspect, but after a 2 miles more than 100 miles an hour, NPD pulled back. Sarah Jensen said the criminal who committed vandalism was going more than 100 miles per hour. NPD spokesman Sarah Jensen said there is no specific speed or time the chase is terminated. A supervisor makes the decision on a case-by-case basis based on 3 factors: the type of crime the person committed, the amount of people that are on the roadway at the time, and the time of day the chase is being pursued. But Jensen said chases usually continue if the suspect is wanted for a serious crime.
If it's a felony murder suspect, absolutely not. We're not going to lay off on that. But in other situations, like this was a vandalism charge, it's a little bit different situation.
Jensen says this same case-by-case criteria that is used in Norman is also used for police stations statewide. Still ahead on OU Nightly, former Sooners gear up for the NFL draft, and Sawyer will update us on the weekend weather. Stick around.
Welcome back to OU Nightly, looking at a live shot up towards Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium and Gaylord College. It's been a beautiful day across the area. Unfortunately, that will start to come to an end as we go on through tonight and into tomorrow morning and throughout the day on Friday. Our next rainmaker is already starting to develop down near Lubbock, Texas, and that's going to move on up to our area. These storms right here are going to affect mainly the western portions of the state, but we do expect some redevelopment back farther south to move on up into Norman. And you can look at the system right here. That's due to this stationary front we have over the south part of the state. Now, as we go on through tomorrow morning, that's going to transition to a warm front and start to move back up to the north, bringing with it a lot of instability and a lot of moisture and warm air. You can see down just south of that, 71 in Austin at 7 a.m., so pretty warm to the south of that. And as we go on into the noon hour and on into tomorrow night, once again, you can see 84 in Dallas, and that warm front still making its way back up towards the north, bringing with it some more instability and some more showers. Now, luckily, we're not looking at a lot of tornadoes. There's a slight potential for a few tornadoes here or there. We're not looking at something that we were looking at earlier this week, so that is a good sign. You can see right here that the National Weather Service has issued a slight risk for most of the state for tomorrow. Now, we are looking at mainly down in the southeastern portion to get the brunt of it, but we will see several rounds come on through the area throughout tomorrow and even into tomorrow night. And we're only looking at about between 1 and 2 inches, a half inch here at Norman, but 1 to 2 inches down in the southeast portion of the state with a few isolated 3 inches here or there. Now, you can see on our water vapor that we do have a lot of moisture flowing into the area, along with those clouds that you saw earlier up in the northeast portion of the state. And then that big low pressure system over Salt Lake City and Denver is really pushing those systems on towards our area. So hang on, because it's going to be a wild ride tomorrow as we kind of get the better data in. The system just got on land, so we can further sample it with our weather balloons and get a better data set on where this is going to start. Now, you can see, looking at our forecast radar, out to the west, at 6 p.m. tonight, those storms kind of firing up, moving on into the area by around 9. See a few sprinkles here or there. We're mainly looking for Norman to get the brunt of it tomorrow. Tonight is looking at the northwest portion of the state up into the Panhandle. They can expect around an inch of rain up there. And then as we go on into the midnight hour, you can see start to develop just down to the southwest of us, those showers and thunderstorms. Now, lows for tonight, 55, which is right around our normal 54. You can see down the southeast portion of the state, upper 60s to a few places are even looking at the low 70s, so a wide range of temperatures across the state. Highs for tomorrow, you can see that warm front's moving on up into areas down near Lawton and Ardmore, 80 down in Lawton with some mid-80s down even southeast of Lawton, 76 here in Norman, which is our average. Now, looking at your 7-day forecast, you can see I put a 70% chance on there. If I could look back at the data, I probably would up it to an 80 or 90% chance, mainly for the western portions of the state tonight. And then into tomorrow, you can see that we do have a 70% chance. And like I said, I'd probably bump that up to an 80, honestly. And then looking at Monday, or the weekend, 76 degrees on Saturday, 68 on Sunday with some broken clouds here or there. A 30% chance of some rain on Monday as another quick short wave moves through the area. But overall, it's looking like a nice week. and a nice weekend. We're going to be cooler next week, which is nice. We'll be a little bit below average as far as temperatures, but overall it's looking like a nice week ahead.
Awesome. So tomorrow will be rainy, and then this weekend will be nice?
Yeah, once we get through this next wave, everything should be okay. Should start to settle out. Like I said, we still have a slight chance of some showers on Monday, nothing severe. And as we get on to the next week, it's looking really nice. So get out and enjoy this weekend.
Great. Thanks, Sawyer. The NFL draft is tonight, and Stephen Mudd is here to explain it all. Steve?
Hey, thanks, Stephen. The Sooners hosted their own award show last night, and stick around to see which Sooners are looking to get drafted and win. Sports is around the corner. I'm Stephen Mudd, and this is OU Nightly Sports. The NFL draft is upon us, and the Windy City is getting ready for a big night. Earlier this month, the Los Angeles Rams made a deal with the Tennessee Titans to snag the first pick of the draft. Now the question remains, which quarterback will the Rams take, Jared Goff or Carson Wentz? Wentz is more of a dual-threat quarterback, whereas Goff loves to stand in the pocket and deliver bullets. Maybe, just maybe, one of those guys will be delivering bullets to Sooner wide receiver Sterling Shepard. Shepard is projected to go in the second round to the Cincinnati Bengals, a great compliment to outside receiver A.J. Green. Other notable Sooners looking to be drafted are Eric Stryker, Zach Sanchez, and Charles Tapper. Now, as players leave, there becomes a need for new players to come in. A couple of guys that stand out among the list are wide receiver Jalen Reagor from Waxahachie, Texas, cornerback Justin Broyles from Oklahoma City, and quarterback Chris Robeson from Mesquite, Texas. This past year, Reagor hauled in 1,100 yards on 64 receptions with 13 touchdowns. Robeson threw for 2,100 yards and 27 touchdowns on 230 pass attempts. Broyles racked up 47 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and an interception. Here's a look at the complete list of prospects from the high school class of 2017 that have committed to the University of Oklahoma. Another notable name on that list is offensive guard Tyrese Robinson. This kid throws guys around like a rag doll. And who knows, maybe one day those new recruits will win an SCA, a Sooner Choice Award. This was the first year that the Sooners held the SCAs, a mock of the ESPYs. Let's get started with Buddy Hield. Hield took home the Male Athlete of the Year award and the Best Dressed Male award. Next is Chase Capps, as she wins Best Female Athlete, while her team won Best Team of the Year. Lastly, how can you forget? Baker Mayfield goes from walk-on to Heisman candidate and then to SCA Male Breakthrough Athlete of the Year. Now, another pivotal Game 5 came down to the wire last night as the Miami Heat hosted the Charlotte Hornets. Kemba Walker gets the and one on that drive and finishes the night with 14 points, while Dwayne Wade led the Heat in scoring with 25 points. But it would be Courtney Lee who put the nail in the coffin with that three-pointer right there and gave the Hornets the win 90-88 to take a 3-2 lead in the series. And the Golden State Warriors knock out the Houston Rockets last night in a blowout win despite Stephen Curry sidelined with a sprained knee. In fact, Klay Thompson put on his Steph Curry mask and carried the team to victory while shooting 7 of 11 from deep and finishing the night with 27 points as the Warriors cruised to a 114-81 win. Now, the town of Oakland could have one less sports team. The owner of the Oakland Raiders, Mark Davis, said he would pay $500 million to move the team to Las Vegas. Take a listen.
In my case, it'll be a lifetime commitment. I've been looking for, this is the goal in my lifetime. When my father passed away, to continue his legacy with this football team, the number one thing was to find a stadium and find a home. And that's what I'm looking to do.
Thanks, Stephen. Coming up on Nightly Lights in the Ground, they could save you from your phone.
Police have accused an Oklahoma City neurologist of committing illicit acts against 3 women during medical exams. Police arrested Dr. Kersey Barucha in March. They've now charged him with 7 felony accounts of sexual battery. And Cardell Hayes has been indicted on 4 charges, including second-degree murder and the death of former New Orleans Saints defensive end Will Smith. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Allie. With people constantly walking around with their heads tilted down looking at their phones, authorities in Augsburg, Germany decided to take action. They had street lights installed right in the ground. The lights changed color to alert texters whether or not the coast is clear to walk across the street. The idea was inspired by the death of a teenage girl who was hit by a train.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College of Journalism Mass Communication. Good night.